Call of Duty Warzone. This is the new free-to-play Battle Royale experience that is an addition to the Modern Warfare game. So you can either launch it from the actual Modern Warfare title if you own that, or you can download it as a separate free-to-play experience. So we are on Xbox One X. It is enhanced, pushed towards 4K resolution with HDR support, and of course 60 FPS. Damn, I think the TV station would probably be a better thing. So yeah, this mode comes with basically two options on the same massive map. So you can either play this title. I guess we're going over to the dam then. So you can either play the traditional Battle Royale experience, or you can jump in and you can do Plunder. So Plunder is another mode which I'm not sure if we're going to be able to show off time-wise today. But it's basically one where it's a very large-scale team deathmatch situation where you are collecting cash and then depositing it at places, and then you keep respawning and killing one another. I find it kind of like really pointless and long, but I know a lot of people will enjoy that type of experience, so that's interesting. And then obviously Battle Royale, which is what we're playing here. So if you're familiar with Battle Royale, it is a title where you are, well, an experience where you are basically fighting. If you die, you're kind of out, but in this one they do something a little bit different with the formula. When you die, you actually go into this place called the Gulag, and it's a 1v1 situation where you can fight and then come back into the game, which is kind of interesting. And then you can also have it where your teammates can do buy-ins, which is another neat aspect of it. So that's where the cash system comes into play. So going back to the gist of what a Battle Royale is, you're basically fighting, trying to be the last people or guy left, and the ring is kind of like pushing you inwards, and eventually, you know, you're in a tiny little area fighting to the death. So that's an interesting aspect of, you know, what that is. So this one's a little bit different because you're pushed onto teams. You have a squad of 3. There are a number of vehicles. It's similar to what Call of Duty did with Blackout and Black Ops 4, but this is a much more streamlined, sort of almost faster paced thing with a lot less inventory management, which I find interesting. I've had just a riot using this like truck thing, because you can absolutely just kind of like smash into people with it and go places where you probably shouldn't with this kind of truck, and that's really interesting. So yeah, it's definitely a different sort of setup. It's one where you know, they do some unique things with the Battle Royale formula, because I mean, we've seen so many games do either spin-offs. We've seen like Apex Legends, we've seen, you know, all kinds of things, Fortnite, and etc., etc. So it is interesting to see their specific take on it, and you know, what they're doing that's a little bit different here. And I think the money system kind of helps that, as does having an extra mode. It is different, and yeah, I don't mind it. It also runs quite well, and the performance is actually pretty good. I have noticed some slight kind of hiccups on this one, where it's not necessarily perfectly running, but I mean, it's really quite impressive considering the 150 player lobby kind of cap that you can have, which is absolutely insane, that amount of players on a map. I'm not sure we've really ever had that on consoles, so that is actually something from a technological standpoint that is truly impressive. And the map itself is massive, so you saw that at the start. It is huge, and it's comprised of either massive maps that are included. I can't believe this guy's evading us, by the way. It's crazy. Anyways, you know, we've seen this made of basically all these other maps that they've created for Modern Warfare here. Wow, that guy is fast. And, you know, they're kind of patched them together. There's also some maybe teases of content to come, because there's a perfect recreation of, right here, the TV station from Call of Duty 4 broadcast center, which is actually like a level in that too. And they do kind of tease that off in the story here, so that's kind of neat. So aside from, you know, basically being able to collect money, you can actually buy things with the money that you get, you know, like kind of equipment and self-revives. So that's an interesting aspect on top of the experience, is the fact that you're able to use that currency. I should also mention, for Plunder, you are collecting it, and then kind of Plunder's the other mode, and you're using that money in order to, you know, basically throw it into a helicopter or a little drop balloon, and you actually get to use your regular classes, whereas in this, which is Battle Royale, you actually have to pick up the loot that you find from, like, you know, various supply caches, other people, or, you know, just laying around in the world. So this is actually a really good place here, because it gives us a good kind of elevated point. So the map really does go on all the way over those hills over there, and we're just like really far in the north of it. This map is just absolutely massive. So past that, there's a lot of other interesting aspects to this, you know, with the money system. So there's the actual contracts. So you're seeing that in the top left there. And you can take on contracts and or bounties as you're playing. Should I take the RPG? It's kind of silly. I'm gonna do it. You can take on these contracts where you have to like go kill something or you have to go do something. So that's an extra layer to the experience on top of you just, you know, doing your survival against others. And I think this is really getting us closer to the point where we're going to have absolutely massive maps going forward in other titles. It's kind of like the dreamscape of being able to have like a real full city that you're fighting in, because you can go inside all of these buildings and, you know, there's all this loot and there's all these interactive elements to it which are really interesting, and we haven't really ever seen that in the game. And I think it's because of this, you know, the new engine for this title that we're able to actually achieve that sort of thing. And then on top of that, we've got all these vehicles you can use, which are really nice. There's like a helicopter there. And they are more for transport as opposed to being something that you would, like, you know, run around shooting people down with and stuff like that. It's an interesting aspect that enhances the experience as opposed to, you know, being something that completely changes the flow of the game. And you can see all these people running in the background, and it's just absolutely nuts. I don't really want to cross this airstrip because that would probably be death sentence. But there's all these people that are able to interact with each other across just an absolutely massive scale experience. It's ridiculous, and it's something I don't think we've really seen in gaming at this point. So that's really neat to see how they're pushing the technology quite a bit with this one, especially since it seems to render and show such a large scale perfectly well. I'm very pleasantly surprised. I don't quite know what these guys are really doing right now. I think they're doing a contract. Secure the intel. They're doing whatever their little missions are. And yeah, it's a very interesting setup. And again, with the plunder mode, that one wasn't really something I enjoyed, but I liked what they were doing with it. Because you're also kind of like this, you're focused in on doing side objectives and having focuses, because there you have to, like, you can kill the king to try to get the money and everything like that. It's just a neat aspect of play that is quite a bit different from what we've seen, because they're taking Battle Royale and they're doing some different things with it. I should get, you know, the majority of the loot here if there's anything good, which there really doesn't seem to be. Use one of these armor things just to kind of heal myself up. And there's a tutorial too, which is different. Usually you don't get that for Battle Royale. You're just kind of throwing out into the middle, and it's like, good luck out there. I kind of want to take the Semtex, and I should take the tactical grenade too. Yeah, okay. P90 is actually really good, but I just want to surprise somebody with the RPG, come out of nowhere with that one. So aside from, we talked about basically the money caches you can go to and the other things you can find and the missions you can do, there are also ammo caches as well. Those are great for filling your ammo, especially if you get something, because you grab like the RPG here, it only comes with, you know, a single rocket. But if you go to like, you know, if you find, I should set up this trophy system here. If you do find something like an ammo crate, you can actually get full ammo for your RPG, which is obviously going to be really helpful. And we can see the ring is now closing in. That's pushing us inwards. And now we're going to keep being able to kind of progress and be shoved inwards. It's kind of surprising how few people are actually left. We've been doing very well despite minimal contact with other people. Again, seeing, oh, there's the big cloud coming over. Seeing the performance kind of keep steady as we're going along, and then being able to handle itself smoothly as we transition into a smaller arena of warfare as we get closer and closer towards the end of this. I just think it's generally very impressive because you don't have to sit there like in Blackout and do all this inventory management. You know, gotta do all this extra stuff. You're just kind of in a streamlined system where you're pushing inwards, maybe doing a small objective along the way, and then battling it out. I think the Gulag is maybe a bit silly, but it is a fun kind of thing where you can come back. And I don't mind that as much because there are so many people involved in this one, as opposed to other battle royales where it's like, oh, I killed this guy and they're back already. That was kind of annoying. Oh. And yeah, I generally kind of like it more than Blackout 2. And they do some really interesting things. They've also taken some kind of info bits from, say, Apex Legends with a ping system, where you're able to basically let people know where certain things are on your team, give a notification of everything like that. Now, I know Blackout did have some stuff to that degree, but it just seems like a bit more of a dynamic ping system in this one in regards to letting people know what's up and having a clear sense of communication between everybody. Like, for example, oh, nope, that's not right. So then you can use that, and you can also drop things really easily for your teammates, including money, if you want to, in order to actually work together as a squad, which is, again, something that is important in Battle Royale titles, but often, you know, completely forgotten or not used at all, because teamwork is not something people online ever seem to get. So yeah, you get a wide range of vehicles, a really well-developed map, neat combat, and a lot of dynamic elements of play, just kind of mixing up, you know, what abilities you have, what extra skills you can use, and then we also have, you know, things like the trophy system, which I was showcasing there, so you can find those on the map, which is interesting. And I guess the tutorial is a really good idea, kind of thinking about that again, because I'm guessing some people, this is going to be their first time playing the game, just because it is a free-to-play title while also being an extension on Modern Warfare. And I could see them doing this more in the future, kind of scaling down their content at launch so that we do have a campaign experience. And, you know, also being able to have the Battle Royale later, because this is obviously like the hot mode, and it has continued to be for a while. Oh yeah, you can also pick out your loadout. That's how you get perks in the Battle Royale. So you can see I can use my regular multiplayer class in order to actually compete a little bit better, I guess you could say. Are you getting shot at? Yeah, it's just neat, because you get all these like little micro battles going on too, just due to the insane scale of this. Like 150 people on one map is just nuts. Usually it's a 100 cap or so. Where's that guy shooting at us from? So that really does change things up quite a bit. And there's so many little elements to it too, just in regards to the movability. And then, you know, you could get something like pulling out your classes so that you can have the perk options. I think that's really quite neat. It's in this situation that I really wish I would have put on basically like a scope for my regular class, but I don't use them in multiplayer, so I don't really need them. I kind of wish the team would have done the flanking thing. Like, I was flanking, and I was hoping that my teammates would keep going this way so that we could, you know, kind of flank this guy. Oh, jeez, now I'm going to die. Yep. Looks like the dream is over, and I think we're kind of... Oh, yeah, here's the Gulag situation. Should have known the guy was going to jump off the roof there. So you get this, like, intro thing. You can also kind of skip it. I never do well in the Gulag, so we'll see what happens here. And you can just kind of, like, punch people out, too, while you're waiting. Oh, next up. Ooh, and then you get to watch them fight as you wait for your turn to be able to come back in. It's actually a very interesting dynamic to it. Totally changes things up, but again, I'm kind of against it because I like the sense that when you're dead in a battle royale, and your squad should have, you know, worked together more efficiently. Wow, a shotgun. Nice. No more second chances. Okay. I'm back in that game. So it's like that, you know, it's over in a second, and you're either back in or you're dead for good. So I lost my cool kit, obviously. Oh, and you can actually die if you don't send out your parachute, so keep that in mind. It's not gonna safety net you. Actually, I wonder if my gear is still here. Where were we fighting these guys? Right around here. Okay. See if we can pick up my stuff, but I don't think I won't get my perks or anything. Nice, yeah. Grab all this stuff. See, it's just like a 2-second delay thing, and you're like right back into the action. Would have liked the perks though. Definitely would have been helpful. Let's get that armor going. Yeah, very clean interface UI. I think they kind of absolutely nailed the battle royale aspect, doing something different. And I think the plunder mode is a good thing for groups of people where it's like they don't necessarily like battle royale, but they want to join in with their friends that are super into the craze of it, because you are getting the battle royale experience, but you're getting it, I guess you could say, in a more deathmatch with a slight objective twist to it. I just think they kind of take a really long time, those matches. It's less of a mad dash, because when I think of battle royale, I think of go, 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 fast, fast, fast. You're not keeping up, you're dying. Whereas that one, it's kind of like take your time, collect money, throw it in a helicopter, and then keep going on your merry way. But as you've been noticing the entire way through, performance, pretty good. You do notice sometimes it loads a little bit. You've seen that in the backdrop with something like little objects kind of flashing and stuff. But yeah, I'm surprised this engine is so well able to handle this kind of thing. You know, I guess they would have, well, they built the engine with scaling in mind. Battle Royale's been something for a while. It is interesting how they retrofit things for Blackout back in the day. Get out of the way of cover. You really gotta be careful. There's lots of cover, but there's also lots of open areas where you could easily get caught and die. Bounty expired. Finding this guy? Oh yeah, there's the, I don't think, yeah, that is it. There's like the Russian burger towns, which I think are kind of funny. They're designed right after the ones in Modern Warfare 2, I think. So it's kind of a fun surprise to see those around. I don't have any money, but if I did, it'd be very helpful to hit up the buying cash at this point, especially when we're getting close to the end game. I guess I ended up with two guys that really seem to know what they're doing, and that's going to be really helpful. Because I think we have only got a very small lobby at this point. Where's everybody going? Yeah, sure, let's do the tactical rover. That's probably a good idea. Nice and loud into the final ring. Or are we escaping people that were shooting us? So, there we go. Area's changed a lot. Map's getting smaller. I love the map, too. Usually the map is like a big issue when you're playing Battle Royale games, but it loads well. Really easy to use and, you know, streamlined from the rest of the game. So I'm wondering if they're going to take this and maybe make some additional kind of Battle Royale maps, because they did give this one like a fancy name and everything like that. So it does kind of make me curious if they're going to expand that, or just use this as a, oh jeez, as a system to build from. Are you guys going to give me a hand? I guess they're fighting right now, so that's probably more important. I don't know how I got killed in the middle of this.
I got you. You're good.
Thank you, Aunt Jemimaya. I think that's how you say that. Oh, also, if you didn't know, this does have full crossplay. I guess I should have mentioned that between platforms. So that's an interesting aspect too, is the fact that you're playing between the consoles and the PC and everything like that. Really? Oh, the stuns might have helped a little bit. I think the smoke's causing issues too, because we're getting pushed in. 2 down. I wish you could cover the pistol in this mode. I think these guys are about like a self-revive or something. But we're actually working well as a squad, so that's good. Oh, jeez. I'm so dead. Is anybody else alive? No, we're all dead. Pretty good match, though. I think we did well, and that kind of covers and sums up what the experience is. Warzone, kind of fun, neat. We finished 14th, not bad considering the high quantity of teams available. And that's the mode available now.